Good morning, everybody. It is a beautifully warm, somewhat muggy Friday morning. End of the week. We made it. Hope you all had a good week. I had a pretty darn good week. Heading into the weekend, what do we got? Miles. That's what we got. Sitting here, I've got 23 miles logged so far this week. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Wednesdays I've taken off now instead of Mondays to fit in a client for the business. He usually schedules kind of last minute, so I just reserve that spot for him, and it just makes life easier. Tonight I'm gonna log somewhere between 6 and 9 miles because we're also playing volleyball tonight, cousin's volleyball game, so that should be fun. But this weekend I'm gonna start doing my last man standing sims. So basically what that means is I treat it like it's a last man standing event. So I will every hour ish, on the hour ish, go out and run 4.2 ish miles, whatever time I have left in that hour. I'll refuel, rehydrate, rest up, stretch out, do whatever I gotta do, and then back out at it, just to kind of reacquaint my body to I guess that kind of stimulus as opposed to the consistent movement type stimulus. That's the plan. Either 20 or 24 miles. Or rather, either 5 or 6 hours. So I plan to start early and kind of go from there. But for today's agenda, I've got I got work, headed into work now. First patient's at 7. Jeez. People are driving like crazy. It's 6 in the morning. First patient's at 7, so get into the office, get all situated. I have one note left over from yesterday, so finish that up. Get the laundry going and enjoy some coffee. I have a meeting with our president at 10, and I loosely know what we're talking about. So there's this program within the company called Partners in Training. Basically, it's a track to become a partner, to open or operate your own clinic. Either truly your own or another partner opens an additional facility that then you run. So they do routine meetings. Company's based up in New Hampshire, I should say. We're down in southern Connecticut, Fairfield County, and so that doesn't really make it feasible to meet with them. So a meeting via Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever whatever. I think it's a Microsoft one, since that's what we use for all of our other stuff. Bright Sun. At 10, I emailed him earlier in the week, asking if there was anything I needed to prep, and I never got a reply. So I have some questions for him, but any questions he has for me, I'm just going to kind of shoot from the hip, I guess. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it. I hope that it's pretty insightful. I hope to gain knowledge on the process of starting that partnership process. Not necessarily because I am interested in becoming a partner, although I can't say that that option is fully off the table. I do really like the idea of just fully grassroots starting my own practice like I'm doing. But there are some perks to staying with the company. 401k match, healthcare, some otherwise somewhat expensive things that I don't know.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
We'll see. In any event, I am open ears. But that is the rundown on the workday. It'll be kind of quiet. I think it's a light day. That fills an hour, and then I think right after that meeting, at least when I left last night, I did not have a patient. So, long lunch. Maybe I'll go out for a coffee, go for a stroll, process what we just talked about. I don't know. Then I'll come home, change, grab Waylon, and head out for some miles. 6 to 9. Two or three laps. And then volleyball, beach volleyball. So, really looking forward to that. Love when we all get together to play. So, that's the general rundown, long-winded rundown of what today holds for me. And then loosely what the weekend holds. I'm gonna have to mix in some yard work in there as well. Got to mow the lawn. It's looking haggard. That's the update. That's the plan for today. So I am going to slug down my AG1 and creatine so that I can start sipping on my coffee and enjoy the rest of the ride in. So I will catch up with you guys later in the video. All right, work day done. Kind of a slow day. Couple cancels. I had that meeting with the president that went really well, very informative. Basically, it was about this cohort within the network that is getting trained up to step into partner roles, or to create the opportunity for becoming a partner. So I learned a lot about the back end of things, sort of the business end of the company, which was nice. Yeah. So, it doesn't really, what am I trying to say here? It wasn't enticing enough where things stand now for me to want to throw Endure PT to the wayside. That is still driving forward, but the security is nice, but the safe path doesn't always give the best views. So, who knows? It was informative. I've made 0 decisions. There's no decision to be made, actually. So none of that really matters. It was a good conversation, and I'll leave it at that. That's all it was. That's all it is. I'm in no position to become a partner within the network. But I did get a little bit more information on the fellowship. So I've been working back and forth with getting them to foot the bill for me going on to complete a fellowship, which is in medicine, sort of the top tier level of training that you can acquire. And in physical therapy, they have fellowships. So most people tend to do like a residency, and then they get some sort of board certification, and then they go on to a fellowship if they want that advanced level of training. I bypassed the residency. I sort of did the backdoor option of just, I practiced for long enough to be eligible to sit for a board certification exam. I passed it first time last year, so that's eligible for, or that's valid for 10 years. I have my OCS, which is my orthopedic clinical specialist certification, which just shows advanced knowledge in the realm of orthopedics as it pertains to physical therapy. And that allows me to then move on to pursuing a fellowship. So just looking for that next challenge. That's in part why I started Endure PT, why I do these physical challenges, is I always look for that next thing to push me. So it's moving forward. Nothing's finalized. Everything's looking good. There's just a couple of like HR things that they have to iron out, more so for the whole company moving forward. If this situation were to arise again, just to make it fair for everybody. So totally understand, totally makes sense. But from the way things look, they should be paying for tuition, and then I'm responsible for travel costs when I go out there for my weekend intensives, lodging, food, and travel, which, if done properly, Endure PT will actually cover that. So nothing actually comes out of pocket, which would be nice. So it was a good day, all in all. Good day. It's beautiful outside. Check this out. We're looking at 82 degrees. Gorgeous. Humidity is low. Admittedly, towards the end of the day there, I was starting to feel pretty tired, but now that I'm out and I'm about, and I've got some sunshine exposure, and it's the end of the week, heading into the weekend, I feel that natural boost of energy. I was searching for like some sort of caffeine just to give me a little boost or a kick, but I'm feeling good now. It's amazing how that works. So I'm heading home. I'm gonna grab Waylon, and then he and I have, I think I decided on 6 miles today. That will put me at 29, a little over 29 and a half for the week so far, heading into the weekend. Tomorrow will be 20 miles, so that will put me at 49-ish, because the additional little mileage that comes with the loops will get tacked on there. And then call it probably 12 miles on Sunday. Puts me up into that 50. Yes, well, 61 would be the number. So into the 60s, which is kind of where I want to be. And holding that, slowly building, but holding that. I want to be in the 60s for pretty much the next few weeks. Maybe touch into the 70s. We'll see. But yeah, I'll bring you guys along for the ride today. And I will be also talking about my next race while I'm running. So stay tuned for that. Let me finish this drive home. I got to make a quick phone call as well. And then get home, change, grab the dog, and head on out the door. And then we got volleyball tonight as well. Cousin's volleyball game down at the farm. So, fun times tonight. All right. See you guys in a little bit. See you out there. All right. Got Waylon changed, fueled, hydrated, ready to go. I know I said I was going to bring you guys on the run, but I want to travel kind of light for this. 6 miles, 6.25-ish, with some more kind of up-tempo middle miles. So the plan is I'll do a loop around the lake, and then I will do a loop around the house and the horse pasture, and then up the dirt road and back. That should be 6-ish or so miles, with 2 mile warm up, 2 miles of up-tempo stuff, and then 2 mile cool down, totaling the 6-ish miles. So like I said, I'm gonna travel a little bit light. I will check in after the run though at some point. I might just hop right into volleyball. I'll figure it out. You know, we're just we're living. We're enjoying Friday. We're gonna go log some miles. We're gonna have a good time. Waylon's gonna have a blast because he always does. It's gonna be good. I'll catch you guys after. All right, fam. Sunday morning, 11:18. Back-to-back long runs. Yesterday's was a last man standing sim. I did 4 legs of the original 5 planned. I ended up cutting it short because my right ankle, which I rolled at the cut 112, 6 miles in of the 40 miles that we did. I've had some fallout since then. It's just kind of progressively gotten more and more stiff. And I've started to get some pain sort of on the inner part of the ankle and wrapping down into like the heel and then down along sort of the big toe. So mechanically that's a little bit off. So something I've been working through, doing a little bit of rehab. Tomorrow when I get into the office, I'm going to do some needling and some stim to it, to try to calm it down a little bit. But that's why I ended up pulling up short yesterday. But today we have somewhere between 8 and 12. And the reason I don't have a hard number on that is mostly dictated by how the ankle, the foot hold up. It's the nature of training. It's a dynamic, fluid situation. when you're dealing with an injury. That's a fucking sheep. Waylon's gonna lose his damn mind. Hey. Holy shit. That was a sheep. My cattle dog lost his mind over some sheep. Anyways, that threw me for a loop. Yeah, so you go in with a plan and you adjust the plan accordingly. That's the nature of training. That's the nature of training with an active injury. And you have to be able to adjust. So we're gonna log at least 8 today. Technically at least 9, because kind of the shortest loop I have is just over 3 miles. Excuse me. So I will log at least 9, even if that's run the 8 and then walk the last mile. If I can get 12 though, that'd be cool too. But we're just rolling down to the farm now. Gonna loosen up a little bit. Tight, feel tight after yesterday. Did not sleep well. Again, just the nature of training. This is my biggest week since the cut. So, I'm feeling it. It is what it is. Still have miles to run, so training to get done. I know I'm not going to feel my strongest right now. I have one more build week this coming week, and then I get a deload week, which is timed well for the bachelor party that I'm going to for Casey's cousin. So let me get all situated here, and then I will meet back up with you guys after the run. See you guys in a little bit. And run is done. Ended up being a little under 9.5 miles. I think it was 9.41. Slow. You know, it was slower than a normal run of that distance would have been. In part because I kept the clock running when I got back from my first loop and ran into Dan and Carly. So I was standing there chatting with them for about 20 minutes or so. But even still, once, you know, my moving pace was probably a good 30 to 40 seconds slower than what it normally would be. And that just accumulated fatigue on the week, and the week's building up to this point. This is now, I think, my 4th straight week of mileage increase. So it is what it is. Keep plugging away. Keep building up that resilience, that endurance, strength. It was a just under 56 mile week, I think, which is close to, I think, what I peaked out at for the cut. So I just finished up a really good 1K repeat workout. 10 repeats, held about a 6:45 pace for each of the repeats. First time doing that workout in probably 2 months. I haven't done it since the cut. And I thought that I had adjusted the workout itself down from 10 to 8 repetitions and at a slower pace than what it had been, because that was set to the last time I had done that workout, which again, like I said, was about 2 months ago. And surprisingly, I felt really, really good. It hurt, it was hard, but I was happy with how I was able to maintain form, maintain pace. and recovered really well in between intervals. Heart rate got up to right around 155 to 160 depending on the interval, and was able to get that back down to low 120s in the 60-second rest that I had. So all of this is to say that trust the process. Trust the process, stay consistent, trust your consistency, because that compounds, right? I have been consistently putting miles in while still listening to my body, dealing with some aches and pains, but managing. And today, actually, speaking of that, was a really good foot and ankle day, in part because it was all flat and there wasn't a lot of rolling hills or uneven terrain that would have really stressed the ankle, but I was still putting out decent power through push-off. So in a way, the ankle was just being stressed differently, and it held up well. So stay consistent, trust your training, trust the process, and also take care of your body, because we ask a lot of our bodies with training that we do, between the weight training, between the running or whatever form of aerobic activity that you do, whatever it is that you're training for. We break our bodies down, and they can only run for so long on awesome, which is just a funny thing that my friends and I used to say. We would run out of awesome, but there's only so long that they can go. Much like your car, right? You don't change the oil, do basic maintenance, your car is going to break down. And the same can be said for our bodies. Our bodies are the most amazing machines ever created. What they're capable of, we don't know that ceiling, both on an individual as well as a global basis. And they need care just like any other machine. So do your mobility work, get your sleep, hydrate, eat well, do the self-care things you need to do to keep that machine functioning as well as possible, so that you can stay consistent, so that you can crush your goals. Keep plugging away, keep staying awesome. That's it for the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys.